Hello everyone, welcome to the session of data mining. In this session, we are going to start with our unit 1, where we are going to learn about what is data mining and why actually we use this data mining. So, what is data mining? What is called data? A collection of raw information, we call it as the data. And then, what is mining? We might have heard about the terms like coal mining, gold mining, and all, where we try to extract the minerals from those mines. In a similar way, when we want to extract the relevant information from the large set of data that is available, that we call it as the data mining. Then why actually we need this data mining? So when we consider our web data, or if we consider our social networks like Facebook, Twitter, and all, and if we consider our e-commerce applications like Amazon, and if we consider the banking sectors where it has different applications like loans, credit card transactions, and all these all this process with the data, they have large amounts of data where we need to get the information. So then what is data mining is collect extracting the relevant information. Then why actually we need this information? In order to understand that, let us go with the few examples. Then we'll understand like why this data mining is important. Here first, if we consider cyber security, so we all know that we use cyber security where it provides the security for the systems, networks, and all. For example, let us consider an organization which has group of employees working together where they share the resources and information. And if there is a particular employee who is creating some disturbance in the who is creating some heavy traffic in the network, or if he's trying to access to the restricted sources or restricted sites, I need to find that person who is just creating the disturbance. Then I have to go through all the employees and collect their information, what sort of information they are sharing, and what sort of sites they are accessing. To know that, first initially I need to collect the data and then perform the analysis. This analysis of data is done by the data mining. So let us clearly understand with one more example. Just consider the e-commerce application. Go with the example of Amazon. In Amazon, if you are buying any product, so if you are buying any product like electronic device like smartwatch, you can see that similar recommendations were found there. So it means that based on the user preferences, based on the user order, the data is collected and analyzed, and it was displayed based on the user preferences. So in that analysis we use this data mining. Then let's talk about the application traffic analysis. So for example, if I want to reach to some destination and I want to know the traffic at the particular area, in order to know that, I can collect the information from different sources. We can collect the information from GPS, cameras, sensors, and all. So using that information, the data is analyzed and identified the traffic in that particular area, and if there are any alternate sources to reach to the other destination. This can be derived from the information we have extracted. So how it is done? Through the By using the data mining technique. In a similar way, if we consider our social networks, so according to a survey, it is said that there are about more than 500 million tweets which is done per a second. Just imagine how much amount of data is being generated. So this data is in the form of petabytes. Sometimes it is in the form of exabytes, where we need to collect this large amounts of data and analyze. For example, we know that the Twitter consists of some millions of accounts. Among those accounts, if I want to find the account which is fake, then I have to go to the user profile. I need to find out the relevant profiles to it and what type of content is sharing. So if I'm trying to get these sort of information whichever I want, then we can easily predict the outcome. So to do that, we will use this data mining technique. In the similar way, when we look at the sensor networks, for example, let us consider there is a forest, and I want to identify the soil over there. Like I want to predict about the soil, or I want to predict about the climate which is around those forest. So I will just collect the information about that and predict whether if you are talking about the soil, it is having good fertility or not. That can be analyzed. In the similar way, there are many areas where we use this computational simulations. For example, if I want to forecast the weather data, so based on the previous existing data that is collected, and also based on the climatic changes, it was observed and predicted the future weather. So whether we can predict whether how the weather is going to be there, based how it is done using the data mining technique. In a similar way, so but if you are able to identify the, or if you are able to collect the data, from those data we need to identify the relevant information which is useful for us to gain the or predict the outcome. So here we can use this data mining in various health sectors. So, for example, if we consider our COVID 19 situation, so there are different cases where, so if the symptoms is very less, we can just take rest and it will be cured. So, sometimes in some persons, the systems may be, the symptoms have been, if the symptoms are very high, they need to take some medication. So, in that way, the analysis has to be done. So, based on that symptoms, which medication has to be given. In that way we can predict the medical data which will help in which will help the users to develop their health. And also, as we have discussed earlier, it helps us in the climate predictions, it helps us in the weather forecasting and all. And if we considered some energy sources, so here in this example, we can see that there is an energy source like wind energy and solar energy. Among those energies which is doing the better performance, or which is widely used, if I want to know these details, I have to collect the information of that. And we can even with that relevant information, we can find out which is doing better. And and if we take the example of agriculture sector, so nowadays there are many upgradations in the agriculture sector, where suppose if we want to find out about the devices or which we are using for irrigation, and or if we want to know about the soil where the plants are growing, and if we want to identify with the different pesticides that are there which will useful, so we need to collect the information. This information, when we are trying to extract the relevant from that, it will gain us some profit to identify or predict the output. So here, these are the applications where we these are some of the applications where we use the data mining. So here we understood like what is data mining, and what are the different applications we have for the data mining, right? So till now we have learned that we need to extract the data, and which will that data will help us in predicting the output. Then how to extract that data, that we'll see in the next class. Thank you.